up? Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Depends on where you are in the world. It's a different time, right? Because we're in so many different toxic time zones, I should call it. We're having a toxic afternoon and good afternoon. Oh my God. It's been almost, actually, it's more than 6 months since my last show, and I am so happy to be back here with you guys. Thank you so very much for joining me. Make sure you share it live, I say, and drop your flags. We want to know where you guys are locked in from. Drop your flags. We're locked in on Play Go. I see the YouTube peeps are coming through, starting to come through. The Facebook peeps, drop your flag and let us know where you are locked in. You know, I'm so glad to be here with you guys again. I feel blessed to see 2021. We had a rough 2020, but a lot of good things came out of 2020, I must say. I feel like we had to regroup. I see Dominica in the house. Dominica representing. Good afternoon. Someone here from Virgin Islands. Antigua in the house. Where else is locked in? Let me know where you tune in from. Yes, guys, the US, that's Sophia. Big up yourself, you know, big up. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I am so happy that you guys have chosen to be on here with us. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for choosing me. Thank you very much for choosing Cacoa. Thank you very much for coming back again. We're getting ready for an amazing show this evening, this afternoon. I have two superstars in the house. Where the Loda have a flag now? Boy, I didn't know Loda had a special flag. Yes. We are so excited to have you guys here with us. Thank you very much, Loda in the house, and Bim, Barbados, Atlanta, Canada, Itasi. Where's Itasi? Itasi in the house. Thank you guys for joining in. Yes, I was saying we had a rough 2020, but we're ready for 2021. And a lot of us were indoors. A lot of us lost, you know, so many friends, so many families. You know, people passed away from COVID. People passed away from all different things, and we didn't get to go to certain people's funerals. You know, people that were really close to us. You know, all of us had our little grinds. You know, everybody was going through it. But a lot of really good things came out of 2020, and I am so fortunate to be here with you guys. You know, pushing through to 2021. Two amazing superstars on with us. We have Ricardo, Drue, and Patrice Roberts coming through. I see Patrice in the lobby. She's drinking her wine. I tell her she's supposed to have Cacoa tea, but she can't wine. She's drinking her wine. And they're ready to start talking with us. Let me know where you guys are. If you guys are seeing us on Facebook, just make sure that, you know, just let me know, because I don't want to bring them on and you can't see me. Right? I don't want to bring them on and we have any kind of issues. So tell me if you're seeing me on Facebook, if you see me on YouTube, if you see where you locked in from. Just drop a note and let us know. Kalti, but not Kalti. I ready. Kalti, what you ready for? You ready? Okay, so everybody, we're good to go. We're ready to go. I just want to big up, you know, DSM, the agency. I am under new management, guys. Yes, your girl managed now, you know? So respect the thing, right? We're going to be giving it to y'all real good in 2021. Thank you very much to DSM for choosing me. I feel like I was chosen, and for supporting every single thing that I'm doing and encouraging me and all of the push. And thanks to all my friends and my family, you know, and everyone who are really diehard. So I want to big up Raquel and you know, all of the other folks that really show their support. Thank you very much. Okay, we get it into the thing. We have, I mean, okay, how well do you guys know Ricardo, Drue, and Patrice Roberts? How well would you say you know these two amazing superstars? I remember, you know, when Patrice first came out with Marshall Montano, but I mostly remember the hits she made as a solo artist. And I remember Ricardo, Drue with that. I don't know if you guys remember that song, Professional. You remember that song, Professional, when that song came out? How I remember holding down a man in a club once under that song, right? Y'all remember those days? Yes, we have them in the house. It's like Professional, Body Language, It Takes Two, Homesick, Patrice Roberts hitting you with Happy Carnival, Old and Grey, I Like It Hot, Sweet for Days, Big Girl, Now Into You, Tender, Carry On. Oh my God, the hits just keep coming. And guess what? They're in the house today. I was fortunate. I've never met Drue before until we're doing this interview, but I was fortunate to meet Patrice a couple years ago, did an interview with her, and also met her when she performed in Dominica on the big stage. Without no further ado, let's bring them people through. Let's bring them through. Let's say good day, good evening, good night, good morning. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, I'm blessed.
I like how you look to her to wait
Might
for
be a
an
little
answer.
intoxicated. Might be a little intoxicated. Having a glass of wine in my rum cup.
In front before front cup.
She getting ready for something later, man.
Ah boy, work.
Get ready for the tea tonight. Oh, sorry.
I think the wine kicking in already. We should have bring the cup on when we start the show.
I believe so. I believe it's there already. I don't think it's kicking in. I think it's kicked in.
It's good to have you guys on. Big up to y'all and what you've been doing. We're gonna be talking, a little bit about your music and a little bit about your life. But I'm fortunate because I was told we can talk about anything, right?
Almost.
We can talk about look at her face. Look at her face. We can talk about look at her. How is Lily? How is Lily, first of all?
Lily's good, man. Lily's actually on a little vacation with her godmother.
Yeah.
So she's been spending some time with her godmother and just enjoying life right now. She don't want to come back home.
And we know 2020 into 2021, there's been a lot of challenges and definitely a lot of revenue setbacks for many performers like yourselves. What are some of I don't like to dwell on the negative because it happened already, right? What are some of the best memories for both of you of 2020? And I don't want it after the pandemic. So what are some of the best memories? And I know ladies first, so because Drue keeps
the best memory for me is actually getting the opportunity to spend time with close friends and family, and actually getting an opportunity to connect with Ricardo in a different light. We have been traveling, and even though the COVID have its bad, this was definitely a great experience for me. The fact that we could have connected in this time.
I concur.
We'll talk about that connection in a little bit. We're not ready for the connection. I think the entire audience, they're ready for the connection.
Of course,
they like the drama. but you say Ricardo, you say you concur with what she said.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do a couple things, man. We got to actually I took a couple of trips out to where she's from, like in Togo, in Trinidad, and spent a lot of time out there. We went on some hikes. Trained a lot, so we got to learn a lot more about each other and the people around us. We got a lot of time to work and to exchange ideas and to exchange some creativity, sorry. And we put ourselves in a position where we were just better friends, and understood each other a little bit more. So that was some of the best things to me.
I think the
alcohol spending more time with Liara.
I think the alcohol will definitely kick in later. I see she's shaking her head, Even though
I think something in my hair. I just dancing while I'm speaking,
That's good. That's good. When many artists really had to improvise, Patrice, I'm going to direct this one to you. You had the force of Digicel behind you, and you being an ambassador on all, getting to perform in front of your fans is something that you usually do live. How was the experience now performing in front of virtual fans, probably in front of nobody practically. What
Yep.
was the energy like? What was the vibe like? Really into being in front of fans virtually. What was that like?
The energy was definitely different. Whereas, I'm accustomed to performing physically for fans, and having to do it virtually was really tough, but I've learned to kind of adapt. It's like I said in a previous interview, it's like doing a video, trying to connect,
Mhm.
giving it energy so that the fans could feel it virtually. So I just
So,
adapt to the situation.
so if this is the new normal, because I know we're very optimistic, right? But if this becomes the new normal, do you think you're ready for this?
Yeah, we have no choice.
How about you, Drew?
So what will you do?
Cry.
No,
He keeping it 100. I agree.
I am going
I
with the
agree.
wind. I'm going where the wind blows. If that's what it is, that's what it is. I'm going to perform in front of the camera and connect with the fans virtually. That's it.
I can tolerate it for now. I just hope that that is not the new norm. I hope at some point we get back to a point where we can actually perform, even if we have to put everybody in bubble suits, where we could just put, if we
There's
can
a
just
lot of
perform.
sweating, right?
Yeah, because for me, I can adapt, and I can speak and look at a camera and do all the acting and stuff like that. But for me, nothing beats that personal experience.
True.
Nothing beats that person being in front of you, the look on their face, whether they like you or don't like you. Because even people that don't like you are motivation to do better. So for me, it's just like, I prefer that. I think anybody would prefer that. But to answer your question, I hope that's not the new for
Wow.
much longer.
For much longer.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you guys. We have to adapt. We've adapted a lot of, like, look at now we're doing this interview, virtually, where probably I would have had to fly in, fly out and do all kinds of things, and so many different ways that we've improvised. Patrice, I wanna ask you this. You and I know this goes back before the pandemic, but you have sort of decided that you want to put a lot of focus, and one of the focus is around women, and you came out with Strength of a Woman. Was it so important for you to put together a showcase that celebrated women?
Because I believe that women, we need to stand up, especially a woman needs to stand next to a woman. You need to lift up a woman. Just keep lifting them up. A woman, we come from a woman, so we need to always stand next to them and support them. And that's why I think I found the need to do Strength of a Woman. I of myself went through a lot. I had my struggles, I had my ups and my downs, and for me, I was saying, like, if I could do it and still pull through and be here, then I could be motivation for another woman. So as the whole just
And
of Strength of a Woman.
and that is a lot of positive vibes, because as a woman, especially in the limelight, you tend to get
Yeah,
a lot of negativity. I mean,
true.
sometimes you wish that you would get more positive, and the people who give the most negative are usually women.
Yep.
So it's
It is. They usually, maybe because of their own insecurities, who knows. But before, seeing negative comments really had me down, and I still it can kind of bother me now. But I've learned
mhm.
to just move past it. I
we,
want
we roll, we roll, we
don't
roll.
stop telling people you need to stop, you need to move, push forward. I just kind of dust it off and move on.
Drew, I was fairly entertained during quarantine, Drew, by you, because you released some personal videos. I don't know if people saw them. There
Right.
was somewhat of a capsule of you becoming Drew, so
Right.
to speak, and some of the things that you went through. And you gave some details on how some of your friendships were formed, but I particularly liked, and I think when you almost got some people arrested. Can you tell us a little bit about that specific episode?
Yeah, the series is called based on a Drue story. So it's stories by me, things that have happened to me and the people around me, but it's from my perspective. And that particular story was the first time I was connecting with Patrice. We were actually doing a collaboration that we did about 11 years ago called Nah Leaving. Now we brought her into Orlando, but to Miami, sorry, where we wanted to go rent a car, and the police were being very racist, I guess, and they thought because we were black, we were stealing, or we were wanted for stealing a vehicle. So they put us down. They put us to sit down by trash, and they found the vehicle that Patrice was in, and they went and they ransacked the whole vehicle. They scared Patrice. And I could only remember, Patrice didn't care if it was our fault or not. All I remember her telling me is that, you see what you're putting me in? And I was like, she was like, she was low key thinking I was a criminal, like as a drug dealer or something, you know what I mean? Um, so we spent about a day or two trying to get her back into that zone of comfort. Because anybody that knows Patsy is that once she loses that comfort, it's a very hard effort to get her back into that. So, but we got it. Thank God.
I want to know what was going through her head. I mean, you told us what you saw, how her reaction was,
Oh,
but
going through
I
my
was
head,
listening.
I want to
I
go
was
home. I'm now we was now getting to know each other, right?
Hmm.
Now getting to know him, so my mind is like, what have I gotten myself into? I want to go home. Where's my manager? I want to call my mom. I just put me on a plane. That's all I wanted to do at the time.
Wow, I was listening to this, right? I'm listening to the story, and granted, it's purely narrative. I mean, you're just talking of your experiences, and I am picturing you sitting down in the back of a car. And tell me if that was the scenario. I was picturing you in the back of the car, and probably crying, and probably your head was on the side like this, you know.
I wasn't crying. I
You
can't
wasn't
remember
crying.
crying, but I was serious. Nothing could make me laugh. You could have tickled me. I was not laughing. I wanted to go, and that was it.
Wow.
Everybody, the entire atmosphere was heavy because
Heavy, heavy, like a house fall on your shoulder, kind of heavy. Like you, and then at that time too, she was managed by Marshall Montano's mother. So
Mhm.
the thing about it is like I'm not only thinking about what she's thinking, but I'm thinking about, man,
if she goes,
if she goes to Marshall and if she goes to the rest of the camp, this is it for my career. Like my career hasn't even started yet. It's a wrap. So
Mhm.
it was a tough situation to be in.
How did you deal with that, Patrice? Like, how did you actually, like, after that was done and settled, and you understood that he was not at fault?
I
What
can't
did you
remember.
do?
I can't remember. For
We
some
didn't.
reason I came out of the zone and everything went well after that. We did the video, we went out and wiped out my mind for a little bit.
Fast track. We're gonna fast track because you guys ended up in somewhat of a relationship, and you'll expand on that a little bit. There was a lot of speculation going around. I remember actually reading somewhere, because I followed both of your careers, because I'm a soca head, right? And I remember reading somewhere where the blog post said, Drew, you were married, and that you had, and the post had also insinuated that you had cheated on your wife with Patrice, and they'd gone along to say all kinds of things. I need you to clear the air with us. Give us the real Cacoa tea, just so that we can play this to bed and it cannot come up again.
Well, the truth is, I've never been married. I was in a relationship. Both Patrice and I
So was I.
were in
Yeah.
relationships. So to not to discredit anybody that I would have been with or she would have been with, we were on our own path. And of course,
Mhm.
in life you meet people, and things happen, connections are made. So whoever keeps spreading this rumor about me being married, I'd like you to stop, please.
No, they're not going to stop.
Stop,
They're not.
stop it. Like stop it. No. And as time progressed, Patsy and I, we connected. We separated. She went on her way, I went on mine. And in that time, we were still cool. We were still, mingling. We were still hanging out. We were still doing things. So people, and
Mingling.
when we We're both private, so I'm not going to go out there and say, okay, this is a case, and she's not going out there and say this is a case. So people had their speculations, they had all their thoughts, and then one good year we ended up rekindling the flame. She separated from the person that she was with. I did as well. My situation was a little bit different because I had kids. So it took me a little bit longer to really deal with my situation because of the attachment. But it was never a situation where I would have, had a wife and all these other things that you're saying. Mm-mm. It ain't like that.
I must commend you both though, for how you guys handled yourself throughout. I don't recall seeing anywhere where you would respond. Neither would Patrice respond. But as a matter of fact, Patrice, you were kind of real tight lip. It was like nobody could get you to talk about
what is understood between him and I is nobody's business. Like we or me or him, we don't owe the public an explanation where our personal business is concerned. If it's a song or we doing a video or something career based, I could understand, but he don't owe anybody on social media to explain anything, because at the end of the day he's not sleeping with social media. Like, it's just between two of us. So everybody has so much opinions, it pisses me off, but I mean, so be it.
You know what? And that's the thing with being in the limelight. It's like you have to really separate your person, because your public life is really work. And I don't know how many people have a work life and a private life and everybody know their business, right?
They want you to put everything on a platter. They want you to just give your child, your man, the career. Like, okay, we give you career, then that's it. Like, it's just supposed to have a line that you draw. We are not perfect. We are imperfect. We have our flaws. We make mistakes just like you. We're human.
Let me tell you how bad it is, right? It's so bad that somebody actually stated that they were at my wedding. They were at my wedding. The wedding that never happened, that never existed. It was also so bad that my stepmom one day picked up the phone and she messaged me. She's like, hey, I know I'm supposed to know this, right? But were you ever married? I said, no. She said, I know, but everybody keeps talking to me about this, and after a while I just started to believe it. So I just said, you know what, I need to come to you and clear the air, because I just don't know anymore. So I had to sit down and I had to tell her everything, and then when I explained to her exactly what was going on, she then said to me, man, this is crazy. Like, I don't understand how these people have so much opinions on what is going on between the two of you. So that's why, based on everything that people have been saying about our relationship, that's why you will hear the line in the song, they say we're toxic, because everything has been about us. It's been they say, he say this, she say that, we say this, we say things that we never said, we did things, she fight me, somebody said she drop kicked me the other day. So it's like
he messaged me in the inbox and told me that I need to know my self-worth, because settling for him, for Ricardo, is not my standard. I mean,
who determines that though? Who determines what your standard is and what your preference is?
Exactly.
At the end of the day,
but when you look at half of their life, it's like it's not perfect the same way. You're probably with somebody else's husband or wife or man, like, and then who are you to determine what happens here? Is like, just give us a break.
Wow. Well said. Give the people a break. And I think we, as society, we become so infused in people's lives that we see on the media, or we see, we don't really know, and we think everything that we hear is the truth. And that is one of the things I want to encourage, like, Caribbean journalists, because I'm born and bred in Dominica, and we hear a lot about fake news. And that was created by, sorry to say, North Americans, creating all of this propaganda and spreading it, and the Caribbean has kind of like gone along with it. I think we need to start
Especially female.
creating content that is
Put that in
real.
there.
That is
But there's more. You mainly see women saying no. You barely see even men as well, but you mainly see a woman saying things like that.
and it also made people see you, Patrice, in a light that wasn't even there. You know, they thinking you are a homewrecker, you take the man
Exactly.
wife,
And then you see
you
Lily, and then they speculate. Oh, one night stand. I hear it was a one night stand. They don't know the history. They don't even know how long we know each other. We just kept our business private for the sake of our career and for the sake of everybody who was involved or was involved. You know?
and that is why I love the fact that Drue did this capsule, did this it's Drue story, you know, because people were able to, you were able to give, and a lot of people probably didn't watch it, but I encourage for people to go and check it out because it really does give people an idea. And even before, you know, this interview was happening, I had seen all the episodes. I followed every single one during the pandemic because people were home, nothing to do and whatever. And I was like, hey, let me see what this guy is all about. You know, and I would go on and I would check your episodes. I turned on notifications. So when they dropped, I knew and stuff. And I must say that when I heard when you guys were in Miami, I was like, that was me then. There's no way that these people just know each other because I traced back because you said in there about Marshall's mom, and I was like, she lived them so long, and like that's a long time ago. And your daughter is like how 5 years, 6 years,
4.
like 4. There you go, right? So it's impossible for it to have been just a one night stand or just moving fast into fast forward into this. You went ahead though, Drue, and you did a breakup song.
Right.
And that kind of ruffled a lot of feathers. People thought that you'd written that song about Patrice.
I think that's where people started saying that, oh, he's no good, he's this. That's where probably people started sending all the negatives towards him.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about the breakup song. I don't want to talk about it because I was in my feelings too, just like everybody else. So we're not gonna talk about it. What I want to ask Patrice is, how did it make you feel? Be real, be 100 with me. How did it make you feel hearing that song, and even knowing that it wasn't about you? But how did it make you feel?
At the time, Ricardo and I was in a really, I can't say bad place, or was in a rocky space. And when I heard the song, he called. He said, you know, I know we're not 100, but you know, I just want you to know that the song is not about you.
This is before I released it.
Before he released it. But when I heard it, I felt away because I told him, I was like, even though it's not about me, when it's being released, you know, people going and think it anyway, right? He's like, it don't matter as long as you know, and I know that what this is not about you. But in the back of my mind, I felt away, you know. But
for me, right, I just feel like I'm one of the soca artists that gets judged really harshly. So if I put out a song today that says, "Oh, I want to jam on all the women down the street," women are gonna be like, men, woman, whatever, whoever, they're gonna be like, "Yo, he's so distasteful, and how could he do Patrice that?" And then Lero will sing, "Oh, I would not jam on every woman on the street if she have a man." Yo, you hear Lero's song, it's so innovative. It's like, and then it's like Patrice will put out a song and say, "I going on horn," and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, yeah, Patrice, go horn, go horn." I put out a song and say, "I'm gonna horn." Oh my God, how could he say that? That is so disrespectful to. And what about his daughter and all these? And I'm like, am I the only person that goes through this? Like what is going on? So it really bothered me and it offended me that people would think that I would be so worthless to just put out a public song like that to say, okay, that's directed towards Patrice. And only in fact, that was the time when soca was shifting from being just party music to stories, like little more stories. So like Orlando Octave had Plenty Girl Have Man, single, right? So single is what inspired me to write a song like that. And boy, if I could go back in time and change it,
I'll say I told you so.
I wouldn't change it.
You wouldn't change that thing.
No, the only thing that I would have done is I would have probably got Patrice a little more involved in how the song was released so that people could understand that it was not about Patrice. But at that time, I was flying high. So, like, we coming off of Vagabond, we coming off of Professional, we coming off of a lot of records that would have been at the top. So I didn't really, it never dawned on me that people would have taken it so seriously, right? That it would have impacted my career the way it did.
I think I was listening to the song because I went back and I listened to it. I mean, I at the time then I really thought it was about her, and everything. And when I listened to your story, you talking about, and even the person who drew, the anime that you use for the song and everything, hearing them saying, hey, it really was not based off of Patrice or anything, because people speculated and said that it looking like her and all kinds of things. But what I felt would have made it, really a hit if she had answered you in the song, like in the song, she would have, if she had answered you, have a part where she respond to you, because
Yeah, but I think that probably might have been worse. To me, I think we would have been going down.
But if imagine if it was actually in the song where you answering, because I mean you wrote the song, it was coming out, you knew the lines, you knew the parts, and you should have just given her a part. Give her a part for the woman and let the woman answer.
To be quite honest, he had asked me to be on the song, and I declined it. I was like,
that is what the face is about.
When I'm performing with you, what is the argument? Like, what am I going to say? Like, how are we going to perform the song? And I said, thinking about it now, I'm not doing it. Hell no.
Look at his face. So I was reading your mind, right, Drue? You never said that anywhere, but
yeah. My only thing about that whole situation was that I just felt her silence at that point in time. I felt her silence could have been it could have been a little more, she could have been a little more vocal about it, because like I just felt like at that time I was taking a lot of heat from a lot of people that I didn't need to take heat from. But because we were at a different space in our life at that time, I think maybe she might have been low-key enjoying it, like, yo, take your fire, fire is burn.
Nah. Nah.
I'm glad that we got to clear the air on that. We'll put the work of song to rest. I mean, I still think it was a wonderful song. Listening to your story again, I love the concept because you spoke about where it came from. And if y'all want to know the details, go listen to it. I'm not going to give you all go watch it. Go watch the videos. I'm not giving you all no spoilers, right? So go watch it and you will get exactly where the actual inspiration behind that song came about, and why he decided and what he did after as it relates to that song. Now, for many, many couples, COVID has brought them together. I see some going for divorce. Some has been split apart. Right? Drue, you said in an interview recently, over the last year, we have just decided to refine our relationship and the direction we wanted to go. We decided to make it official. What happened?
Time. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's been a lot of things that we were both upset about in the past. As we would have mentioned, we are not perfect. We're far from perfect. And we've both made a lot of mistakes in our lives, not just towards each other, but just in general. And I think we reached a point where we just felt like, let's just sit down and see if it can work. And if it can work, then let's make it work. If it can't, then let's just try to be as cordial as possible. So that was just our thought process. We decided that, life is short. And we're both in the same industry. We have a daughter. And let's if it can work, let's make it work. So we at this point are just doing everything we can, going on little dates and just trying
I
to.
see that. I saw you on a date. I was on the gram. I was like,
Wanted us out for saying that
Dates.
we
I don't
dated.
understand because you say you're dating, like,
So I mean, we just been doing what we have to do. Not every day is a perfect day. Sometimes, and of course, we are both creative, so that means we have a level of madness that goes on up here. And sometimes her level of madness doesn't match my level of madness, and it clashes. And we just try to find a way to see if it can work out. And that's just been it, just trying to work.
Patrice, I want your take, because he kept saying we, like he's talking for two of you. I want your take on it, on what changed for you.
I actually feel the same way. Where do I start? Because we've been in kind of rocky, like we said, we both decided to see if it can work. For me, I realized being away from him was doing me more harm than good. When we are around each other, I feel complete. I feel like, and he shouldn't even feel good. I feel like I could come back to him. And I feel like even if we get it together, if we get it right, then we could do this together. So far it's been good. We have our ups and our downs. We have times, like we said, we bump heads, but we are really compatible. And it's new.
So we can expect a Patch Drue or a Drew Pat, or a Beyonce and Jay-Z combination. Is that what we can expect? Because they're gonna give you a name, right? Drew Pat. So I might as well pen it now, or Pat Drue. Which one are we going with? Let's just decide now.
We'll figure that out.
It's better we just establish it, and protocol get established, so they just move ahead with it, because they're gonna be talking about it, right?
No, we have to do a vote. We have to do a vote. When we put some people in a hat and we'll pick and we'll let you know.
All right, for sure. Speaking of, you guys just released like a really amazing song under the Cabana Rhythm. Big up to International Steven for putting that one down and getting that. And you had a Suicide Squad theme video. There was all different things going on in the video. What motivated the name Toxic Love, and what message were you trying to put out there in terms of the song?
Well, the message overall in the song is not that we are promoting being toxic, because we saw a lot of people saying in these times we shouldn't be promoting toxic relationships, and I don't think that those are the people that have listened to the lyrics of the song. And the lyrics of the song specifically states that they say we're toxic, full of toxic love, because when I say we done, you say we done, and we back together. So if that makes us toxic, then that's not our problem. That's your problem. And our thing is, like, not every relationship is the same. Not every relationship is perfect. Therefore, I might take a longer time to mature than you. She might take a shorter time to mature than me. She might know what she wants now, and I still may not know what I want now. And that's what a relationship is trying to find a happy medium where you guys can work it out, you guys can make it work. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're toxic. Now, there are things in the relationship that are considered toxic traits, like blocking and unblocking and fights and this and that. But if you as a human being don't or have not ever done that, then you are a robot. You are a robot, you don't live, you've never had a fight, then you are living this perfect story, fairy tale relationship that does not exist. And that was the message behind it. It's just like, look, you can say what you want, but this is what we know, what we have, and we know what we have is real. And so far, everybody that I have been able to speak to can relate to some point, some level.
I think I love the song.
Thank you.
I mean, I listen to all the words because I like to analyze everything. So, so I got it. Some people just get a toxic love and they see all together and they think, oh,
Right.
that's it, and they forget the rest of everything else. But again, guys, listen to the lyrics, pay attention. We know we're living in we have a very short time span in terms of how much we focus on things these days with social media. Pay a little close attention, and y'all will really, really get the gist of the song. It was I feel it's a positive song. I feel at the end of the day, I got mind your business, and that was what it said for me. Like this, right? I got mind your business. I didn't even get the whole toxic part and whatever. It just
So you didn't
mind your
get
business.
everyone in front of business. Mind your. Oh.
Oh yes, I got that too. Right? So I mean I completely I love the video, love the themes and everything. I just have one question. How was it shooting the video? Like how I saw y'all had some scenes, in a tub.
Alright, cool. With the pool scene, I was literally nervous. I was blushing. I didn't know. I was being mushy. I didn't know where to start. I was being like a bake.
Chuckling.
I closed my eye because I don't want to. I don't know. I was nervous.
I want to see that. I wish I was there. I wish I was a fly on the wall to see that, because I could tell, that top scene. Like every now and again when he'd say, "We don't give," and he put his head back, your head was like, "Oh gosh, I could see that."
I still get butterflies though, so.
Wow.
I still get butterflies
Me
every
too.
time.
Me
No,
too.
you don't.
Oh gosh, my cheekbones, people are blushing. My cheekbones are hurting for you guys. I mean, I've definitely seen a lot of love between the two of you, and I think people should respect, your privacy, and not just you, like people who have public lives, or at least public careers and these private lives too, right? And just respect people and wait for people to tell you the tea, like wait for them to come, want to feel comfortable, because we destroy so many people's relationships because we put out things. I mean,
the reality is we will never tell the tea though. We will never. They're not going to ever know the tea. I could be falling over a cliff, and he's holding me by my toe, and nobody would not know.
And vice versa, just in case. You see, he's beholding her by a toe, and vice versa.
Ricardo, you feel like you're walking on eggshells every time, right?
No, honestly, like I see it. And for the last 5 years, I've had people threaten me. I've seen people comment on these things and say all kind of things that they don't necessarily know or understand. I've seen people say that, I don't take care of my daughter. I left my daughter stranded. I left Patrice and my daughter stranded. I've seen it all. And sometimes I watch it and I want to respond, but what is it really going to do? There's going to be somebody else that's just going to come back and say the same exact thing, have the same exact opinion, because apparently I look like I'm full of myself, as they say. So it's like
I've heard that too.
Yeah, and it's cool. That's
far from the truth.
It's cool because at the end of the day, there's a certain energy that you give off as a person, and people will pick up on certain things. I don't matter that I might be looking at myself and saying, "Boy, I wonder if people think my hat's crooked, or if my shirt might be too tight, or those things for me it's whatever. You have an opinion. You as a person, you go based off of what you see. But it definitely has been one of those things where, like, when it comes to Patsy, I will stand in the back, I'll fold my arms, and I'll give her the amount of support that I can, as much as I can, and my back is supposed to be broad for a reason. My back is supposed to be broad to protect my sons, to protect my daughter, and of course to protect Patsy. So at the end of the day, if I need to take the arrows, I'll take it.
which is
That
not
is
fair.
well. That is, you know what? It's not fair, but it's well
Oh,
said because
he has to
you
do
know.
that based on people's opinion, and that shouldn't. He should want to or have to do it based on his kids and whoever else that he's supposed to protect, but not
Mhm.
for the opinion of people.
But Patty, just hearing you saying that, how does that make you feel? Though you still getting butterflies.
Huh?
You still get butterflies hearing him say that he is gonna protect you and he's gonna.
I do. I'm always getting butterflies. It's almost like I've now met him.
Oh, cloud nine. Where you getting? Baby number two.
No, 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 no.
She's shaking her head. You're not sure which way to shake your head.
He's going to be like,
Which way to
if he can't know it, though.
When,
pull-out game gonna have to be strong.
if and when that time comes, you'll cross that bridge.
That's good, and it'll be your business. Period. At the end of the day, if you bring another
I
kid
think
into the
I
world,
think they
it's
wouldn't even know if that happened.
you wouldn't. The
Put
funny,
on a
it's
picture the other
funny.
day and everybody is like, she's pregnant again. So
Speaking,
it will.
speaking of, we're talking about the mushy stuff. Do you guys have pet names for each other?
He calls me Pat.
Wow. Wow.
I say babe.
You say babe?
Babe.
Yeah, I've never
Ooh.
been that type of person. I'm not that mushy, pukunooks and pumpkin, and every now and again I might say sweet pea, but
Uh,
beyond that, I'm not that mushy type. I'm not. She's get vexed with me sometimes. All the time.
yeah, because we like what I know Patrice is an introvert, but she's a fire introvert. She has a lot of heat, and so she likes the attention and she likes the mushy stuff. I'm the same. We like flowers and all this nonsense that
Yep.
will die in like 24 hours. Like we
I
want
don't
it.
care, put it in some water. And
Yes.
water whenever, it don't matter. I could be dying in the water as long as it's there.
We don't care. We like them kinds of things, right? But it's good to see you guys seem to complement each other very well. And even like I remember just going through this, setting up this interview, the communication between you guys and Raquel and Steven and everything, and I could tell who is the fire starter and who does just keep everything calm. And y'all have a really good collaboration. I think Patsy, you made a good choice. Drue, you made a
Thank
good
you.
decision, and it's great that you guys use the pandemic to reconnect and really, because there's no other way. That's the best way to get to know each other, because we're there with each other without any distractions, right? Nobody else can distract. So big up to you guys. I still want to pen that name. I don't know what you're talking about, but I want to pen that name. Patsy, you have a skincare line that just launched. Tell us a little bit about
Everybody.
that.
I have actually it's been on the market for 3 years, but we have just started advertising and doing little marketing for it. It's locally, and we're thinking about
Okay.
getting it out there and throughout the Caribbean. So we haven't had that information yet. So as soon as we have the information, we're gonna put it on my page. But it's doing really well, and I'm getting a lot of feedback from people who have purchased it. So far,
What's the name? What's the name so
we
we
have
can
the
look up?
Cocoa Buddy.
And tell us a little bit about Cocoa Body. What does it
Yeah,
have?
there's lavender. We have peppermint, turmeric, cocoa, and everything is actually natural, coconut base. So
Okay. So it's a soap.
it's a soap. So very
Nice.
soon you'll have creams, you'll have hand sanitizers, and everything natural.
Right. Good. Kudos to you on
Thank you.
your entrepreneurship, entrepreneur skills now. You're putting that down. And I'm sure Joe will be there supporting you through every step. Any other collabs between the two of you? Can we look up for anything that we
Well, since we dropped Toxic, we've gotten one or two demos from people saying, I have this song for you guys to do. But for me, and I believe I can speak for her when I say this. Well, you know what? Let me not speak for her. Let me speak for myself. I have always been in this situation where I feel like people have this thought process that I'm going to use her, or that I am use her for her success and different things like that. So when it comes, if you would have noticed, a lot of my things I try to do without her. There'll be one or two things that I will incorporate her in, like in my concert in Antigua Drew's Day, and little things like that. But to say like I want to be behind her 24/7, running everything she does. I try and let her do her own thing, just because I really want to avoid that. Now it's sad that has to be my thought process, and I think we're starting to change the narrative a bit. But if something comes up in the next year or two and it's hot, we'll do it. If it's not, we'll pass.
I think you should just forget about what people have to say and do what is going to make you guys happy. I think people buy things when they're real, and when you're not trying to force somebody to think that if you involve, you involve. I mean, you're a writer, she's a writer, she's a singer, you sing. Like, you guys have so many ways that you can complement each other. I know Patsy works out. If she coming up with her workout line, I know a lot of girls, because they want to know how they can get their butt looking wrong like her. Girl, I'm like, we watch your boom boom the whole time, we just be checking you out and imagine there were a couple times when you showed up in his video story, in the stories, right? And you were wearing this gray body. I think you were probably working out. You were wearing this gray thing. Yes, I was like, this was me trying to see how the pants look, because I couldn't tell. All right, because we want to know. I mean, you have a fantastic body. I mean, I've seen right after having your daughter, you come out with your belly showing. I don't know, Jesus, a lot of us aspire. So if you guys feel that this is something that y'all can do together, I mean, I know Drue, you out to get the muscles in the we see the muscles, right? Y'all can do something and change. Why not? Jay-Z and Beyonce doing it, Bungie and Faye doing it. There are a lot of couples that do it. If you guys love each other, there should be no way anybody can prevent or will stop something from blossoming and coming out really good. So don't worry with the naysayers. That's just what they did. You know what? The mere fact that they're talking means you're important. You're important. And a friend of mine said something to me years ago, and I'm gonna say that to the two of you. When people love you, they're in your heart. Right? Or because they really love you. But when people hate you, you're always on their mind. So, and that means they're always gonna be looking for you. They'll be secretly buying your stuff to try it, just to see, So don't worry, let them talk, and just do what you guys have to do. I'm just gonna go to the, people have been commenting, so I just want to bring out a few of them. Like we have Dara, who's from St. Lucia, is saying, yeah, forget people's opinion. You're a power couple. Work on that shit. Right? So that is one thing that Dara is saying. Charlene from Dominica is saying, Patrice and Drue, just do it like Nike. You see? I tell all you can. We should pen that name, Patrice, just feeling right. The Patrice just feeling nice right now. Let's go back and see who else is on there. Somebody is saying, Patrice, elbow cuff. I don't know. The person knows something that I'm missing. I'm missing something. Elbow cuff. I thought it's somebody that knew you. That's why I brought them up. Someone else is saying that. Let's see what else other people are saying. A lot of people are talking. Someone is saying here, people too like to put their nose in people's business. Private is private. Some folks were asking where you're from, Drue. Let's clarify for them where you're from. Right. Some people.
I'm Antiguan. I'm born Antiguan. I of course represent Antigua. I have some roots in Trinidad as well, so I have the best of both worlds here for me.
You see people talking Patrice. Patrice is the name. Patrice. You see, Aurel says Patrice. Look at that? That is a logo right there.
But Drue, it's from
Drue Pat.
No, it sounded, you know what it sounded like? It sounded like European. The Drue. You know, like I went to Peru, I went to Paris, the Drue. You know, you fancy it up.
For true.
but true, right?
But yeah, Antigua all the way, dog. Antigua.
Oh, Giovanni saying she's Patsy the Drue. Patsy dash Drue. You know, people want to be the ones to make the name. I am thankful to you guys for coming on with me on Faculty. It was fun. I want to keep following you guys. Want to keep knowing, and probably I'll get an invite to the wedding. You know, like I wait till, you know, even if I have to wear a mask or I have to go and come in a bubble, like or asthma. You know, congratulations to finding yourselves over the last year. I think that's one of the good things that came out of 2020, and kudos to you guys. Keep doing you, keep making music, keep making people fall in love with your music and your videos. Just keep doing you. Take care of your kids and do the damn thing. And thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for the interview. I don't know if you guys have any final words.
Yeah, we have a couple final words, but I'll let Patsy go first.
Just to all the fans who have been supporting both Drue and I and all the artists, thank you for the love and the support, because even releasing music in this pandemic have been hard, but yet we seem to still do it for you to remain sane and for us to be sane as well. So thank you for supporting us. For all the newcomers who would like to follow me, it's Patrice Roberts on Facebook and Twitter, Patrice R Music. So thank you, I love you. See you whenever this is over. If it's not over, then we still could connect on Instagram.
For me, people, Toxic Love has made some serious numbers in the first week of its release. We went from number 55 to number 9 on the iTunes US reggae charts. So we just want to urge you guys to keep supporting, keep streaming, and we want to say thank you for the streams. Not only Toxic Love, but all the soca music. Stream soca more. We need you just as much as you guys need the music and love the music. We love you and need you. And we just want to say thank you. Protect your mental health, protect your physical health. And of course, if you're in an abusive relationship, don't listen to Toxic Love and say, I'm going to stay. No, get out. We would definitely don't encourage any kind of abuse or domestic violence at all. Follow me on the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook at It's Drue, ITSDRUE. Love.
Thank you guys. Bye. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Thank you so very much to all those of you who tuned in for this episode of Cacoa Season 4 in the bag. Thanks to Patrice Roberts and Ricardo Drue for stopping by and hanging with us, having an awesome time with us. And especially thanks to DSM, the agency, and Raquel and the rest of the gang for putting this together. To you guys, those of you who are on the live, those of you who came and supported, those of you who shared. Yo, I'm going to be doing some giveaways, but that's on the next show. I'm watching those people who share the live. I'm watching those people who share the live. If you share the live, you might have something coming for you on the next show. I'm not going to tell you when the next show is, because guess what you're going to do? You're going to turn on your notifications. You're going to make sure you subscribe to both my Facebook as well as my YouTube. You're going to follow me, so you're going to know when the next show is going to come through. Thanks again to PlayGo and Digicel for putting this together, for putting actually the feed together and making sure those of you in the other islands are connected. Thanks to my entire team. I want to big up Bella Noir out there in Dominica. Big up to Aurelie. Big up to Jovian and the rest of the gang. Thank you so very much, guys. My kids, love you guys. Until next time. Bye-bye, guys. See ya.